Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Emma Lefebvre, and today I am doing something I have never done before. I am interviewing an artist that I truly admire, Jessica Sebok. So I stumbled across Jessica's TikTok a few months back, and I was completely blown away at these beautiful Scribble collaborations she does with her son. I was dying to know more about her, so I got in touch, and we had a wonderful conversation, which you're about to see now. There are some audio issues. My first time interviewing, I'm a little awkward. So just keep that in mind, but it was awesome talking to her, and I really hope you guys enjoy the interview. I found you on TikTok, I think originally, which has been the bane of my existence because I just spend way too much time on there.
I know, it'll just suck away a whole day.
It really does.
I have to put it away and not check it for large chunks of the day. Otherwise, I'd just be on there. It's a problem.
But yeah, it was awesome. I found you and I saw it was you and your son that just drew me in because, I have a little boy and I'm just like, oh, that's my dream. I've been wanting him to do what I do and be interested in my interests for so long. And he lasts 5 minutes and he's completely done. And I'm like, okay. He's more into video games with his dad. But it's so cool that you guys can do something together that is just so beautiful and meaningful, and the outcome is incredible. And so once I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I have to talk to her. Because these are so super goals. I've always been so interested in portrait artists because that is something that is not easy.
Well, and it's interesting. I feel like either you're into portraits or you're into everything else. And that's how I've always kind of seen artists around me, in school and everything. It's either faces or anything but faces. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but I, for some reason, even in high school, way back, I can't not draw faces. It's the only thing I seem to have interest in, which is just weird, but true.
I used to draw eyes on my binders and stuff all the time. And I was always into drawing people, but I just wasn't very good. So I just kind of stopped. But how did you start out, and where did this come from? Were you an artistic child? Is there art in your family?
Yeah. So, good question. Look at you. You're being a great interviewer.
I'm trying.
So yeah, I feel like I've always been an artist. People ask that question. I'm like, yeah, it's just always been my interest. My dad is a haiku poet. So it's a different type of art, but in itself, he's made a career kind of around that and everything. So I had an example of how art can really be more than just a hobby.
Yeah.
So in high school, I started to take it a little more seriously and think about, okay, if I'm going to college, what am I going to do? So I got a BFA in studio art at university. And at the very end, right before I graduated, I was in a part-time job, and my coworkers started ordering commissions. They were just like, you're an artist. You're going to school for art. Can you draw my dog? I'm like, sure. So honestly, that's how it was born and became a career path instead of just my interest and what I was going to try and get really skilled at, So that was in 2014. Yes. And it's just slowly grown. First word of mouth in my hometown, grew that way. And then online just, I finally learned how to share my process and some of my mindset behind it. I still feel like I'm trying to figure that out, but found something that worked, and now it's a whole thing.
It's crazy how social media can be such a great platform for this. Do you feel, since you've put yourself out there on social media, your commissions have grown and just...
Yeah, this wouldn't be my full career if it weren't for social media. That has been the way to connect with clients. Now I've shipped all over the world. I've shipped all over the US, Canada, Mexico. So it's just, social media has been the tool to find people that connect with the type of art that I'm doing. Yeah. And I'm super grateful. And it's a fun part of the process. I don't know if you felt this way too, but I really enjoy the filming and editing and and like curating what I want to say and show via social media. Like I find that to be a pretty creative, fun process too.
Exactly. And it's so fun to connect with like people
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have connected with. But I think it's
Mhm.
so amazing to hear that you had that example from your dad, just kind of giving you that, like, it doesn't have to be a hobby. Because I
Yeah.
feel for myself growing up, it's no, you have to be realistic. You can't be an
Mhm.
artist. Like for me, it was, if you want to do art as a career, it's like you're gonna have to be an art teacher at a high school or whatever. And that was kind
Yeah.
of like it. And I didn't go that way because it just didn't seem like it was
Yeah.
a career.
I felt
Yeah.
I felt similarly. Like I was like a lot of my classmates, like at university and stuff, were like, "I'm doing art therapy and I'm doing art teaching," and I was like, "That's awesome." I didn't feel a big draw to that. I was like, "No, I just want to like make art. Like I don't really want to teach it at this stage in my life. Like who knows? Maybe someday that'll change." But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree. I was like, I can do it
That's
without that,
amazing. That's
right?
amazing because you're also setting that example for your son too. Whatever he wants to eventually go into is like you're sending out that
Yeah.
message that's like, yeah, it's totally possible. Amazing that we can do this and like share it with everyone. Because I personally love seeing your process. I love watching the videos of your son get his little scribbles down. Like he seems so serious about it too, and just like to enjoy it. And it's such a pleasure to watch. I'm just like, because I was a kindergarten teacher before this, and
Oh
so
yeah.
so I loved teaching art to kids, and just seeing the
Yeah.
enjoyment he gets out of it is just amazing to watch. And then just the way you two interact with each other is just so cute. I don't know, it's super goals, like I've
It's
said.
been really nice as a mom to have
Yeah.
something like this to do together.
Yeah.
Because I always like my husband was always better at this, but I sometimes struggled to like get down and play with a random toy he has. Like I've gotten better at that over the
Yeah.
years. That didn't just come naturally to me. So this doing art where I wasn't even necessarily like instructing him, we were just getting out stuff. We would turn on music and like do things together.
Mhm.
And it just made sense. Like it was easy for me to fully be present and like excited about everything he's doing and encourage him in a way I'm proud of, and like
Yep.
to just be really present with him by creating art. And that's just been a tool that I really love as a mom.
Exactly. And I think it's so important because kids that age love to do grown-up things. Like they love to
Mhm.
play with their toys and like, "Mom, come play with me." But they also like, "What are you
Right.
doing? Can I do
Yeah.
that?" And so the
Yeah. Can
fact
I
that
cook dinner with you? Can I? Yeah.
exactly. And then you
Yeah.
get to share something you love, so it's incredible.
Yeah.
So kind of going into a bit more of like what would you say your favorite medium is? Like painting? What do you focus
Good
on the most?
question. So it's tricky right now. I feel like I live in commission world and then little blips of stuff that's actually just my work. So I mean, most of my commissions are the Scribble collabs right now. So people have actually sent in their kids' artwork, and I work on top, which I love. It's just been really cool to like get all these different types of abstract scribbly backgrounds. They're like different paper, different everything. So each one is like a brand new challenge. So all of those are mostly watercolor mixed media. Sometimes I throw in some like oil pastels or some pencil or a little bit of acrylic. So I think right now my favorite medium is mixed media. I like to combine a bunch of stuff. I think long term, I'll really like large scale acrylic oil work. Like that's what I would be doing if I didn't have a ton of commissions to get through.
Yeah.
So I think eventually I'll land more there. But
Okay.
for now, mixed media, smaller scale stuff is where I spend like 95% of my time.
Do you ever get overwhelmed or see like a scribble piece before you get your hands on it, like go, what the heck am I going to do with this? Or like, like, 'cause I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, right? Because kids' artwork can be like, oh, you went that way. Okay, cool.
Like, oh, you did that. Oh,
yeah. So it's just
okay.
like, I feel like that could be so, the way you just manipulate it into something incredible is just like, how the heck did she do that? Like,
I don't know, really. I somehow have built a little confidence with it in this past year. So now pretty much anything someone gives me that a kid's done, I'm like, okay, I can do it.
And you do. You completely do it. And I'm just
I do. But it's, yeah, some of them are more challenging than others. I just had one that had like a lot of really dark, like blues and greens. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
I'm going to have to really build that up with a lot of light. So, you know, some of them feel like they're not going to work, but somehow I figure out how to do it. I figure out how to make it work.
And I even love, like, sometimes when I see when you do a piece with your son, after you're done the portrait, you continue letting him draw over it too. I feel like inside, I'm like, no, don't ruin it. Like, do you ever get that kind of, like, you just seem so like carefree and like, yeah, go for it. It's going to make it better. And like me, I'm like, oh, don't ruin it.
I think with him specifically, like, I just trust him weirdly. And I think I learned, at least in school, to just like not be precious. Like, I'm like, I can fix anything you're going to do. So just do it. And if it's a problem, I'll make it better.
That's such a great mindset though. Like, you just seem so laid back with that kind of stuff. And it's just like,
I try.
Do you feel like you've always been that way, or it's just something that you kind of learned to develop? Just like how do you find the confidence? Like, yeah, I can fix that.
I feel like I found that in college. And I don't know if that was like something I just discovered or if that was something that my professors were like intentionally teaching. Like, I'm not sure where it came from exactly, but I somehow learned that with paint and at least the process that, honestly, even back then I was starting with these like abstract, messy backgrounds and then doing something on top. So it's just always kind of been my way. And I just, I learned that you can fix anything. That's what paint's for. Like,
I love that. 'Cause I think that's such an insecurity for so many, like, especially like my followers who watch. It's like the amount of paintings that we throw away that we're like, oh no, that's garbage. That can't be fixed. To just kind of challenge yourself to like, I think we all need to take a page from your book here. And, you know, like take those paintings that you think are total crap or you messed up somehow and just fix it with anything.
Yeah. Trust the process.
I love that. Like, I think that mentality is so important for any artist. And it's still something like I struggle with, like, too. Like, there's so many things that I do and I'm like, nope, can't put that on video. Nope, can't do that.
Yeah, well, and I honestly still struggle with that a little bit with commissions. Because I know that, like, if it's one of my son's scribbles, if we really did just royally take it beyond what can be fixed, which I haven't really found as a thing, but if it happened, there's just no pressure. Whereas a commission, like, someone might have sent me their child's work and I'm pulling it out and like, okay, here's my shot. And so I've had to battle a little bit of preciousness or perfectionism and like making sure that I'm like, I still need to do my process. It's okay. I can fix anything. But I've had to address my own hesitation there with commissions, especially because, you know, the pressure's on and they're paying you good money and, you know, all the stuff. I want to give them what they want and a good, solid product that's meaningful and all that. So. Yeah.
Well, somehow you do it and it's totally inspiring. But to know that you also feel that insecurity of the pressure, I think is important for, like, I think people who are new to art are always like, they think that we know everything and we're like, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. And it's just like, it's not always that. We have our insecurities too. There are paintings that we are like, no, that wasn't that great. And I think it's important for them to know that. But I love your approach of it can be fixed. And I think I'm just going to Jessica Sebok it and just be like, that can be fixed.
Just gotta dive in.
I've just
confidence from somewhere.
Your name has now become an adjective.
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna do for my next painting that I don't really love, and I'm like, we're gonna Jessica this.
Oh, it's so funny to like hear that. Like, I appreciate it so much, but like, I just feel like a normal person in my house making art. And sometimes I'm like, wow, I do have this like skill and expertise that people see. And it's just hard to like see that for yourself. And so I appreciate that type of feedback. It's nice to hear. And
Sure. Well, no, it's totally valid and important. I think what you do is incredible. And it is hard to see ourselves in that light that other people see us, you know, but I think that's totally awesome. So when was the first Scribble portrait done? Like, how did that become a thing? Like, when?
Yeah. So I think, ugh, 2020's thrown me for a loop.
I hear that.
The first one was he just had an area in my studio where he would put like finished stuff that he was working on.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I had it out. I've posted it online. But it was just this little scribble like this big.
Mm-hmm.
And I just asked him, I was like, hey, do you mind if I paint something on top of this? Like, I wanted to make sure he was cool with it. And I don't know where I got the idea, but I know I had saved this kind of pile thinking I'm going to do something with that. Like, I don't know what, but I'm going to do something. And then I have a constant reference photo folder in my phone where I just like dump photos that I like and have taken that I might paint from someday. I think it's up to like 600 photos.
Wow.
But I pulled that out, found a cute picture of him and just did his portrait. It was like really simple. It was kind of just an experimental, fast sketch. But as soon as I was done, I was like, ooh, I'm going to do more of these. This is really cool.
Yeah.
I like this.
What was his reaction?
He was like, whoa, that's me. And I did that. Like
So
he was pretty excited too. And I was like, this is fun. I could get into this. So then I started saving the pieces that he okayed as stuff that I could work with. So I still have a pile in my studio that are just ready to go if I ever want to collab with him in between all the commissions. But yeah, it was born out of just trying it one day. And then as soon as we shared the concept online, people were like, ah,
yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well,
so it connects with more than just us.
It's such a meaningful piece of artwork to have.
Yeah, because it's like the kid has really contributed a lot. You can see their little spirit in the way that they've done their thing.
For sure.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is so cool. So what has been your favorite part about just like working with him and having him be a part of it?
I think watching his growth as a little artist, and really what I mean there is his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did a Bluey drawing the other day. I don't know if you guys watch Bluey.
Yep.
Freaking love Bluey. It's such a good show. But we did that together. And then since then, he's been trying to draw the characters totally on his own. And I like see his growth and like his ability to, with confidence, like he was like, it's a scribble drawing, because like he had all these areas where it wasn't perfect and he kept working with it and like figured out what line he liked and whatever. And I was just like, I love that he's learning how to have that confident, I can do this, it's okay, that little mark doesn't make it bad, that's my favorite part. I think
love to hear that. Honestly, the confidence is huge, because I even remember teaching kindergarten and the kids going, I can't do it. And I'm like, you can. Yeah. It's just that you're instilling that in him at such a young age is so important. And it's just like, he's going to do incredible things because of that. Like, it's so important
I hope so.
For parents to do that and see that. So
yeah. And to encourage our kids just in life to, move with confidence and knowing that if you make mistakes, they can be fixed.
For sure.
It's a life lesson.
That's amazing. Is he there? Is he with you?
I just heard footsteps.
Hey.
This is Emma.
Oh, nice to
meet you. She's an amazing artist too.
And you're an amazing artist too. I love your work. I love it. Yeah. You are. I love your work. I see your videos that you do with your mom. You are such an incredible artist.
Thank you.
Thanks. You're welcome. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite color? Red. Ooh.
He's been very consistent about that for a long time.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. You know what you like. What kind of materials of your mom's, like your markers or paint, what do you like to work with the best? What's your favorite? Paint?
Like what type of paint? Watercolor or like the tube, like acrylic?
Watercolor.
Me too. That's my favorite.
She's like really good at watercolors. She does like flowers, and she did this poppy field. I'll have to show you.
So that's your one last question. What is your favorite thing about painting with your mom?
I didn't even remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Do you love being an artist?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
You're
really
good.
good. I love your flicking technique on the wrist with the paintbrush. That's my favorite.
Aw, that's so cool.
You can also just like
Just like,
splatter on
Yeah.
without
it's
like that.
yeah,
That's
that's just
really
one technique.
is that your favorite thing to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're really good at it. And I love the painting behind you of the one when he drew on his face.
Yep.
Which was so funny and adorable. You're like, now I have to paint this painting
I know.
of
I'm
him
like,
that when he
must
drew on his
happen.
face.
Oh,
Do you-
yeah, that's our biggest collab yet.
I love
right?
it. Do you have your
Yeah.
favorite piece that you've done with your mom?
Do you have a favorite?
No.
No.
You just like them all?
You just like them all.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I could just talk to him all day. He's so
I
cute.
know. He's a sweetie. Hi.
Oh, I forgot to.
What'd you forget?
Yeah. Okay. Then you know that I actually made I can actually show you it.
Okay,
Oh.
I'd love to see.
And I drawn it.
You drew it. Okay.
My heart. My heart. I love it. 4 is such a great
All
age.
about it.
They're
It's
so
such
far,
a good,
but-
I am loving it.
right? It's so fun.
And I feel like they get old enough that they understand the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
So the harder moments are maybe just a touch easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you looking for what you did this morning?
Yeah.
Here, I'll help you.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Which one did you like?
It's
Is it this one?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Oh,
He did that
wow.
already.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is super cool, buddy.
Oh, can I show him the portrait you did of me? Or not him. Can I show Emma the portrait you did of me too?
Yeah.
Okay, I really like it. Is this your favorite one of that? Okay. Let it not overexpose. There we
Love
go.
it. Look at those colors. So beautiful and bright. I love it. Oh my gosh.
He's been very experimental. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
I
I also got this.
Oh
that's
yes,
cool.
well squishy.
Thank you so much for answering my questions. It was so nice meeting you.
You too.
My last question for you is, for anyone who's interested in doing portraits, how do you even begin to grasp the concepts of like proportions of faces, and like, is it just, do you find it's more of like a talent thing that you just kind of have, or is it a lot of work?
I feel like when I first started, I mean, I always drew faces, but when I was first trying to really capture them, like be more realistic with it, which was around high school-ish, I found I always did them like straightforward, like the subject completely face on, and they were pretty flat. Like, I think I was trying to figure out like the basic, like, okay, we have a face straight on, here's where everything goes. And I think what I started to do in college and beyond was draw faces and heads from all different angles. So, from the side, like looking up, looking down, and really understanding like the skull and the structure behind it. I did a lot of studies with that, and I could tell like, oh, now they look 3D. Now they look like people and not just placing things where I think they should go. And that's another thing is like, I feel like the artist's eye, you have to look for shapes and forget that you're drawing a nose, and instead be like, I see this little shape of the nostril and it's about that far away from this air. Like, it's more of like a math estimation than like I'm drawing a nose and I know what noses look like. Like, forget what they look like. draw what you see. I feel like those are the things that help me, was studying skulls and different angles of faces, and then somehow in the process learning how to forget drawing a specific thing and just draw what I see.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Did you ever find a struggle, like for me personally, when I would draw faces,
Yeah.
like I would draw someone and it would look like a face. It was decent, but it would never look
Mm-hmm.
like the person. And I'm like, where, like, how do you see where you're going wrong with this? Like, that is so difficult.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how to answer it though.
I know, right? It's so hard. You just have that in you, I guess.
And I think it just takes skill. You know, I mean, I look back at my commissions from like 2014 to 15, and I'm like, it looked like the people, but it was missing the mark too. You know, like it takes time and practice to feel like you can capture someone accurately. And I think that's hard because there's a big learning curve of how do you get past being frustrated that it doesn't look the way you want it to look.
Do you paint every day or draw every day?
Yeah.
Or are there any days where you're like, nah, not today?
Well, yeah, I would say like once a week. I maybe just decide, okay, there's a cat. Hi. Can we cuddle? Yeah, they're always with me in the studio, which I actually really love.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say one day a week. I'm like doing family stuff, we're traveling or something, we're just in present family moments. Oh, there he goes. But if I didn't have plans like that, I'd probably like, it's almost a compulsion of like, I need to work on times where I'm not doing something. I struggle to like not just do and to like sit and be peaceful sometimes. So yeah, I'm working a lot right now. It's maybe too much, but
do you find yourself that do you make time to paint something for yourself or draw something for yourself once a day?
Yeah, I started doing before I really dive into anything. I mean, there's an occasional day where a deadline has come up really fast and I have to not do this, but I try and start every studio day with a sketch, even if it's just 20 minutes and just something for me. It really helps like fuel the creative fire and not, and almost make like, I feel like I switch modes from like a distracted ADHD, have to finish everything thing to once I've fallen into actually just putting strokes down on the paper, then I'm like focused on that and I can tune out everything else. So I start my day with a sketch for me and that gets that going. And then I try and ride that out as long as I can. I
love that. I think I need to start doing that because that's one thing that's been making being on YouTube so hard is that like I used to do it for fun and now it's become a job. And the last thing you want to do is make it a job where you're like, oh no, I have to do this. But my problem was I'd find myself painting something for myself and then it would really turn out and be like, damn it, I should have filmed that. Like that would have been a good one. And then try to recreate it and it doesn't work and you're like, well.
Yeah. And the struggle of like filming and when to film and when that feels good. Oh my gosh, that's so real. Like, I always find like I want to film everything because I want to have a bunch of footage to piece together and whatever. But it also is nice to, without that, just create something with no plans to make any content from it.
I think,
but yeah, a lot of times then those pieces turn out really well and you're like, but I wanted to share.
Yep.
It's so hard.
Yep.
Those ones I'm like, yeah, I'll just share a photo on Instagram and I won't have a cool video, but you know, it's fine.
But I think I think you have the right idea that it's important to do that one thing for you when you can.
Yeah.
So you don't lose that.
It's really helped me to not feel like I'm just making stuff for other people all the time. Like I love that I'm doing commissions. I love that my commission clientele are like families, like a lot of times first time art buyers. Like I love that. I want to be doing those, but they're not for me. They're someone else's vision. You know, the Scribble ones feel a little bit more for me. Like they do something for me creatively, but yeah, it's been really nice to still have my own projects and my own stuff. I think
That's
it's
awesome.
essential at this point.
That's awesome. So
yeah.
lastly, if people
Yeah.
want to order a commission from you, do you have a website or contact that you can leave us with that we can share
Yeah.
if you're not
Yeah.
too busy?
Well, so yeah, I am booked through 2021. So
Wow.
commissions are currently closed, but we're hoping to open things back up hopefully in February.
Okay.
Once I'm through all of my Christmas stuff and have had a moment to breathe. So when that comes around, you'll see it on social media and stuff that I'm back open.
Okay.
But my website is just my name, jessicasebok.com. It's got info on how to do all of that. And I do have like an on hold list for commissions. So if you are interested, get in your emails and submissions. There's like a submission form on my website. And we will put you in our on hold folder and get back to you with more info when it's open.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Oh, that was
I
so
love it.
cool. I hope we're not too awkward. I'm going to watch this back.
You did
oh, God.
great. I know. We'll both probably cringe, but it's fine. We got it. We did it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. If there's another artist you would like to see me talk to, chat with, get to know a little bit better, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.